Hello, my little draconic wolfkins. If you like what you see and hear, please like, subscribe, and turn on the bell to get notified. If you guys want to send me your own horror stories, my email is in the description. Alright, let's get into it. I, a 15-year-old, was recently being stalked by what I think was a skinwalker. Nuh-uh. Nope. And I need to share it. I live in Washington, King County, not in the city like Seattle or Renton. I choose to keep my identity a secret to not be recognized since I live in Washington. It's way more likely to encounter Bigfoot rather than a skinwalker. I mean, I would think so. Washington has a lot of forests, but then again, it is possible. I live near a lot of forest, although there's not a lot of houses once you get to the actual streets. Some backstory: I have been going biking down the same route for maybe 4 weeks, so around a month. And I go to a cafe of sorts and get something like a Red Bull or coffee. I live right next to a lot of forest and woods, around 5 and 11 miles in length. Now I don't get scared of much, and I've been going in the woods since I was a kid. Honestly, I would too if I were a kid. But I can only do that when I go camping, so I know a lot and not much scares me. I only have two fears, and one is very minor, but the big one is deep water. I think a lot of people are afraid of deep water or water in general. I'm terrified of it anyways, so I don't have much to fear, but a couple of days ago, around 9 or 10, I was going down my usual route, and mind you, this isn't someplace in the woods or something. This is in the road of my main neighborhood, so it's pretty much open. Okay. But as soon as you get to the fence line, it's pure woods. Woods as far as the eye can see. Okay. Anyways, was going on my route and had went to the cafe to get a Red Bull, and I pedaled up to a giant hill. Giant hill? Like, was the hill actually a giant? Could you imagine a giant hill, though? Like, an actual giant for a hill? That'd be scary. Anyways, you getting some real traction, so it's pretty hard to be up. So I usually walk up, so I was walking up a lot of caffeine in my system. I think I got the really big can of Red Bull, so maybe 200 milligrams of caffeine. 200 milligrams of caffeine is a lot, it seems, in my system, but I was walking up, stopped around the top, and put the kickstand up to give you an idea of what it looked like. I was on the right side of the road with the stone wall to my right, and I was around 2 to 3 feet away from the wall. It was man-made, but it was just a ton of rocks piled together, spanning around 30 feet in length and 8 feet in height. I was at the starting point, so the rock wall was blending into the ground level. I was sitting there with my hands in my pocket trying to warm up because I couldn't feel my hands. I was around 3 miles away from my house. It should have taken my 15 to 25 minutes to get there, maybe more. I was standing there on the side of the road next to the road and this stone wall with forest behind the fence, which was on top of the stone wall, when I heard the clearest English tone and voice I have ever heard. Nah, nah. I would be biking back to my house. Like, nah. I see you. Like, no. Again, if I heard I see you, I'd be I would just ride away. Hell, I would probably be running. And what sounded human but I knew wasn't. Now, I didn't freeze up Luke like most and stood there. I merely jumped probably 20 inches in the air and sped off on my bike. I didn't even care of the car that was behind me and probably went 15 plus miles per hour on the entire way. Yeah, I would too. And I got there in around 8 to 10 minutes, which was crazy. I didn't even use the brakes when going down another hill, which I should have done, but I didn't care. Yeah, I wouldn't care either. Though it is dangerous, I would not recommend doing that though. I got home, put my bike away, shut the gate, and said hey to my dad and went to my room. I didn't tell anyone. Our neighbor is pretty strange sometimes, but not always. There's been a couple of times when my brother said he heard crying outside his window. His windows are facing the backyard. Okay. By the way, and a couple of thumps in the night, but nothing much. But I knew what I heard. Our neighbor is known as a couple of coyotes and loose cats, and even a couple black bears on occasion, but nothing too serious. But I know what I heard. I've researched skinwalkers and Bigfoot before and Navajo creatures before, and I know talking about them could lower them towards you, but I don't care. I know that looking in their eyes would cause madness or something to that effect, and that they can make you hear and see things that aren't there, but I know it when I see it. But recently, I know what's been happening. I didn't take the bike route. 2 days after that, when I finally took it, nothing happened. Some with the next couple of days, nothing happened actually. Nothing's happening at the bike route. That bike route, what I have noticed is that I've started to hear scratching and thumping, but one day around 3 days ago, I was fed up, so I grabbed my gun. You have a gun? Or what? Okay. I mean, I guess a 15-year-old can have a gun in Washington. I don't know. And that I've started to hear. And an 8-inch hunting knife, and went outside. I also took a really big flashlight, which is for power outages, but I know if I didn't have proper illumination, I wouldn't be able to see it. I went out and shined the flashlight. I didn't see anything. I woke up my brother to check with me. I didn't tell him why though. Honestly, I would give him a reason why, even if you do sound crazy. I gave him a .45 and a flashlight and told him I needed him to check with me, and told him that he needed to check with me. He had a 45 and I had a sawed off shotgun. Oh my god. There was a hunting rifle, but it wasn't lethal, so we went outside to the back and I had checked the front alone, but realized I had found something I needed to have backup. I knew that skinwalkers were very strong, but I figured I could shoot it to give the message. No, they do not care, to my understanding. Like, zero fucks given. So, we went to the back and we checked behind the pool and the chicken coop and our raspberry bushes. You have raspberry bushes? Aw. Though not much point since it's winter. It wasn't a very large piece of land. It's only half of an acre. I mean, that's still a decent chunk. We checked everywhere in the yard, so my brother said we should go inside, but I wanted to do one more thing. I knew skinwalkers were pretty good climbers too. So I grabbed a ladder and went to the roof, covered the left side, nothing. I went to the right side and saw it. When I saw it, it ducked behind the angle of the roof. Oh hell no, So I had a rough idea of where it was by listening to the footsteps. Dude. Nuh-uh. I would do some searching to get in touch with a Native American shaman or something to get rid of this. I shot empty round 6 shells into the roof each time I reloaded and felt it was going to jump out and rip me to shreds. Like, did your parents not hear it? Did your neighbors not hear it? I got questions, but then I climbed off the roof and went to the door, but stayed near it. My brother said to go inside quickly, but I waited. After around 40 seconds after I got to the door, I heard violent screaming and clawing from around 150 feet west from our location. Bruh, you made a mistake. Then I ran inside, locked all doors and windows, and waited after the night passed. I biked on the same route, but I carried 45 on my side without a bullet in the chamber, obviously. I was at the same hill taking a break and warming up my hands until I heard, "You'll pay for that." Nuh-uh. Again, in the same perfect tone and voice, and again I sent off, went home, put the bike away, and locked the back door. That was earlier today, so now I'm waiting for nightfall. So I'll see what happens. If anything happens, I'll update the post and tell you guys. Ooh, there's an update. It's been a bit, but not much has happened, though. I heard from my neighbor that his cat died when I was mowing his lawn, and I felt shivers. Yeah, I would too. I run down my spine to where I shook noticeably. I have been still biking the same route, but not that much since it's only been one day. Maybe 2 times, but I'll keep you guys updated. Please reach out and tell me a way I can do something. I'm afraid. By the way, I went with my brother to the forest. We collected ferns there from time to time to add to our backyard. The guy who owns it said that we were good. He said many times, but we checked every time. It went successfully. Not much happened. Saw a couple of rabbits. Okay. which are rare, but it's going good. I'll update you in probably 1 to 2 days depending on what happens. Update 2. I'm being followed and not by that thing. I told my dad, he said not to speak about it and came with him to the forest because we were going to hunt it down. We went there, stayed until dark. Around 3:18 a.m. we heard the movement. Not this little white girl. I'd be running. And that's some horrifying screech. But anyway, after a lot of struggle, because it was so fast, long story short, we killed it. We went up to it, shined our flashlights on it, and shot it with the sawed-off shotgun to really be careful. Then we disposed of it. Dude, more will be coming, I promise. Put it in the trash bag, those heavy-duty ones, so it would have a harder time to break. Then tied it extra hard, then threw it in the river. Attached a brick. When he was telling me his plan, I asked if it was too mafia-like. No. And he said it's better if it's blamed on them than us. I asked why, but he didn't give me an answer. After doing that, I've been noticing some things. I've been seeing some black van outside our house, and when I go biking, it speeds off. Then when I'm at the bottom of the giant hill, it's parked there. Then it speeds off at the cafe. Oh no. That is not good. It was there, runs on my way back. It's there. Then runs when I finally get back home. It's on the other side of the street anyways. I'll have to give another update. I have to say more, but I'm tired. I need sleep for tomorrow. Thank God I didn't have to be in fear when it was going about that thing. Like, holy shit, that was a long ass fucking read.